Hello everyone, this is Kira, and today I would like to share my thoughts on upcoming Season 2 meta tier list. What I noticed, usually packs are watching what high keys pushers are playing, and from this they're already taking classes to their groups. So the classes that are rated high in my tier list will be easier to get into the packs, and you will lose less time watching for the group, and potentially it will be easier to get higher score. At the same time, the classes that are rated not that high in the tier list doesn't mean that you should insta reroll to other class that is higher, because it will take some time, maybe a lot of time, to get the same knowledge, to get the same experience on the class, and most likely you will put more input inside the key. If you're playing your main class, you will be able to do more damage, more stops, maybe some off heals than the new class that you will reroll to, because you will be watching like how to do more damage into your DPS rotation, and maybe it will be even worse. Okay, let's watch into my tier list now. As you can see here, high chance for meta. This is big synergy, and I will talk about the synergy first and after about each class. It's Fire Mage, Balance Druid, Bumpkin, Disc Priest, VDH, and Elemental Shami. In my opinion, this is the highest DPS comp, because you're getting all the buffs. You're getting Fire Mage, that is getting Intellect buff. Also Fire Mage has good prior damage, good AoE damage, cheat death, mass barrier, a lot of utility, a lot of stops. You have Bumpkin, that is pretty good class. You have Beam, and right now Beam is 45 second CD. Also very tanky class versus one-shots. On top of this, you're getting Mark of the Wild buff. You have Invis also. You have Battle Res. And you're getting benefit from the Mage, because Bumpkin is getting Intellect. On top of this, a very good thing from Balance Druid is that you have 2 charges of your Incarn. And let's say if every class will pop 2 minutes on the first pull, and if Druid will pop only 1 Incarn on the first pull, coming into the second pull, no one will already have Series, but Druid will be able to pop his Incarn second time, and this way he will do more damage to the second pull already. And it will kinda equal out that Balance Druid has damage to every single pull. This way. The healer in this comp, in my opinion, is Disc Priest. First of all, it's given stamina, it's given 3% damage reduction also. Also on top of this, it's given some small shields. Mind Soothe also is very good to do some skips, and on top of this it's gaining PI, and most likely in this comp you will be giving PI to Fire Mage, or maybe to Elemental Shami inside his series sometimes, on super big pulls if packs need to die fast. And also this healer is doing not bad damage even after the nerfs. From tanks I will rate VDH on the first place, because as I said already before, this is pretty big synergy, because all these classes are doing magic damage, and VDH has given 3% magic damage debuff. On top of this, this is the only tank that has a cheat death, and having a cheat death as a tank, it's very very good, if you're not counting Blood Decay of course. On top of this, you have quite good CCs. You have Mass Grip, which is DPS gain at the same time if you're playing with this comp, if you're playing with Fire Mage and Elemental Shami. And in general, this is pretty good to group all the mobs. You also have Mass Grip, and you can ask Druid to put Beam, so mobs will be grouped and all the mobs will be staying in silence. Also you have Silent Sitter by yourself. So I rate VDH in high chance for meta, because all of this. And the last DPS in my opinion, it's Elemental Shami, because Elemental Shami is giving you Shaman buff, which is very very strong, and also giving Mastery. And also on top of this, Elemental Shami is getting value from Fire Mage, because Mage is given Intellect buff, and Elemental Shami is magic damage class instead of Enhancement Shami, because Enhancement Shami it's melee and he's not getting any benefit from the Mage. One more class here in high chance for meta, it's Frost Mage man, in my opinion. We didn't play with many Frost Mages, but from what I know and from what I heard, Frost Mage doesn't need to have PI. This is good benefit, but Frost Mage is not playing with cheat death, because it's only Fire Mage talent, like baseline. But I think Frost Mage can be also very very good. We are going to the very strong second. And here you can see Shadow Priest, Unholy Decay, Feral Druid, Paladin, Enhancement, etc. So I will say that Shadow Priest is very good, but at the same time you don't ever want to play two same classes, because you are just losing classes that can bring you buff on top of this. So I will say that Shadow Priest can be meta, most likely only if Disc Priest will not be meta. And at the same time, if Disc is not meta, you are taking Shadow Priest instead of Bumpkin, and instead of Disc Priest, you are taking Resto Druid. So in my opinion, this is second best comp. That you are replacing these two classes with the other two classes. And Holy Decay is very strong. It kinda arranges back if you will proc your hero tree. You will do a lot of AoE damage. If you will not proc, you will still do okay damage. Grips are pretty good. And also one more good thing, it's that you have 45 and 1.5 minute offensive cities, which is helping a lot, because most of the classes usually have 2-minute cities. So this is kind of same as Balance Druid, that you will be able to press cities more often and on packs where others will not have cities. Towards the Feral Druid is very strong also, but this is melee class. And Season 2 dungeons are very, very melee unfriendly, in my opinion, because there are a lot of circles that you need to move from, also a lot of frontals, etc, etc. So I think it will be just easier to play range and stay far, like doing some damage without getting worrying from something, than playing Feral Druid and just like fighting for your life and dodging everything. At the same time, I think in some keys maybe you will still play Feral Druid instead of Balance Druid. In some keys like Workshop, where it's more single target, because I think Feral Druid might do a bit more single target damage. About Prot Paladin versus VDH, I will say that Prot Paladin is a bit weaker right now after all the changes they gave to Prot Paladin. Prot Paladin is still good, probably still doing more damage, but weaker, so will be need to kite more, and if you're kiting more, you are griefing your group to do less damage insta. Also on top of this, you're not given 3% magic buff for the whole group, but Paladin is helping to leave your group a lot, because you have Sack, you have Bob, you can do some off heals, you have Lay of Hands, you have Freedoms, and you have Devotion Aura also, which is helping to leave high keys. But yeah, I think this is tier 2 already, tank. The next class is Enhancement Shami. Enhancement Shami was not doing crazy damage, but Enhancement Shami doesn't really have cities if you're playing Totemic, from what I heard. But on top of this, Enhancement Shami is getting around 4-5% nerf from next week, so I don't think you will play Enhancement Shami over Elemental Shami after this nerf. Also, as I said already before, keys are melee unfriendly. Resto Druid is very strong healing wise, but damage wise it's kinda weak, in my opinion. And also, if we're stepping into higher keys, Resto Druid will lose more and more damage, because in higher keys, Resto Druid will need to heal more, so he will be losing more damage in cat form, in druid form, sorry, in balance form. So this is just like pure healing healer. But it will give a buff if you're not playing balance druid. The next class, it's Saproc. Saproc got a bit nerfed. At the same time, I think this class is very strong. A lot of CCs, Shroud, Sap, also damage reduction from the poison, good cryo damage, good funnel damage, good single target damage, good AoE damage inside cities, but outside of your cities you are not doing any damage, kinda, in my opinion. But not giving any buff, and doing lower damage than Unholy Decay, in my opinion, so I rated it here. And about Havoc DH, this is the last DPS class and very strong. First of all, losing value, because VDH is very strong. Also, they nerfed Havoc DH a lot, already like 3 nerfs. Also, it's melee class. DPS is not that strong, but very, very strong funnel and pretty good single target. But yeah, no point to play Havoc DH if you can play VDH already. And also, if we're looking in the high chance for meta, there is nothing what you can really replace here. Because this is like the biggest synergy of the buffs and also the highest damage, in my opinion. Let's go to the next tier. This is OK tier. In my opinion, it's Mystery Monk. Mystery Monk has a lot of healing, also given some small shields for your group, but not given any buff, even though it's doing like the highest single target damage, the highest prior damage, the highest AoE damage from all the healers, but not providing any buff means that probably worse than other healers. Ara-Kara is getting buffed. It's doing pretty good single target damage, AoE damage, and pretty bad single target damage. So I don't know about this, and also one more bad thing, and especially for packs, that Ara-Kara prefer to re-stealth between the packs, and in some dungeons like Cinderbrew, you don't really want to do it. And in general, for Timer and the Key and for High Keys, you don't want to re-stealth. You want to kill one target and after like chain the rest of the pack to the next pool already. The next, it's Prot Warrior and Blood Decay. In my opinion, they're kinda equal. Blood Decay is doing good damage if you're proccing, but we know that Blood Decay cannot really be meta for high keys because it's always squishy, and it's getting squishier and squishier with every key level that you're stepping into. Every extra key level. So I rated it here. And Prot Warrior is pretty tanky class, doing good damage, but from what I heard, at the moment it is bugged, because they were buffing Arms Warrior demolish damage, and at the same time they also buffed Prot Warrior. And that's why Prot Warrior is doing that good numbers right now in Colossus build. If they will nerf it, his value will insta go way lower also. Also it's given attack power buff, which is not that a big value for the current meta, from what I can guess. After we can see Restore Shami. Restore Shami is getting some small buffs recently. Also it's providing extra stamina from the talents, 10 or 20% stamina. Also it's giving you Shaman buff, which is very good. Damage is not the highest, but probably not lower than Restore Druid. So I think it's kinda okay tier. And after we have no buffs, I will go really quick through this. I didn't play with all of these classes, but I talked with people who played these classes. And we have Demo Warlock, Destro Warlock, and Afro Warlock. I think Warlock in general is not that good this tier for keys. Because first of all, not given any buff, and also all these 3 specs kinda like to take PI. About Destro Warlock, I can say that doing good AoE damage, but it's getting nerfed. Single target is not the highest. If we're talking about the Clave, it's pretty good. About Afli Warlock, I think Afli Warlock it's kinda the same as Ara-Kara, that you are doing crazy good AoE damage, very good funnel damage, but single target is kinda bad. And as we know, single target is kinda the most important things in the keys. About Demo Warlock, I just know that it's doing not bad single target, but also this is the class that kinda need to cast all the time, and there are a lot of things to dodge, and also not given buff on top of everything. It's only given stones and gates, but I will not say it's that needed. PM Hunter is getting buffs recently. It's doing good single target, good AoE damage with PI and without PI also, but at the same time everyone knows that Hunter is kinda squishy class. Also not given any buff kinda, because I'm not counting Hunter's Mark as a real buff. So yeah, only given like kinda Bloodlust of good buffs. Red Paladin is okay-ish. It's doing good AoE if you have cities, doing good single target also, but not doing kinda any prior, because you are choosing either doing single target or doing AoE damage. Given Devotion Aura, can do some off heals. Pretty good class, but I don't think this is enough to be meta. We have Frost Decay, which I think is not that bad. Single target damage is not bad, AoE damage is not bad, but again, not given any buff. Probably even worse than Red Paladin, BM Hunter, damage-wise, in my opinion. So kinda equal to Warlocks, kinda equal to Arms Warrior also, because Arms Warrior also not given kinda anything in my opinion, and kinda equal to Hunter, Marksman. What need buffs? It's Oak, because Oak is way too nerfed in my opinion right now. Damage-wise from the logs, because right now it's only buffed in 2 classes, but even though damage and logs it's way lower, like 30% lower than it's supposed to be to other classes, compared to other classes. But yeah, it will be good to play again with Oak, because Oak is giving you everything. It's giving you Rescue, it's giving you Paradox, it's giving you Stone, a lot of stops, easy class to play for new players and for packs in my opinion. But yeah, maybe it's time to play without Oak finally. Next is Garden Druid. I think Garden Druid is pretty strong to be honest. I played it recently and it's living very good. AoE damage is not that bad, but prior damage and single target damage are not the highest in my opinion. And also on top of this, it's giving you Mark of the Wild, but as you can see here, Bumpkin, Feral Druid and Resto Druid are way higher already, and you don't ever want to stack classes, usually, so that's why Garden Druid is a bit lower. Didn't say didn't hear, it's Windwalker Monk and Survival Hunter. I did hear that Monk single target is pretty good, but at the same time Monk is kinda capped, and also not given kinda any buff, and also it's melee. So pretty low chance to be meta, in my opinion. And same for Survival Hunter. Didn't play with any, but heard from some hunters that other specs are just better, other hunter specs. And also on top of this, this is melee class. Let's go to the next. It's capped and I don't know. I put here Fury Warrior. It's capped, I didn't see any, but I think it is worse than Arms Warrior. And you will probably not play Fury Warrior if you have option to play Arms. Not given any buff also. Outlaw Rock, I played with Outlaw Rock, but damage is worse, also capped. And if something, you will just play better specs like Sub Rock, because it's doing more single target and it's doing damage inside your cities. Outlaw Rock is doing damage always, you don't really have cities, and I don't think this is that good, because sometimes you want to pull some big pull, which is harder pull. And maybe you need to kill like one mob super fast or to kill the whole pack faster, and with Outlaw Rock it will be harder than with Sub Rock with cities, basically. About Devo Evoker, I didn't hear much, but I heard that it is capped, and also don't think that it will be meta in my opinion, because buffs are not that strong. And about Arcane Mage, capped class, doing damage only inside your cities. No point to play Arcane Mage when you can play Frost Mage and Fire Mage. And yeah, basically that's it about Arcane Mage. Friend asked to put higher. This is Brewmaster, my favorite class that I think is very weak always for keys, and this is mainly designed as a raid tank. Preservation Evoker, didn't play with any, but the healers that I asked, they said that very bad and very hard to play, especially with ranges, because you kinda need to stay behind everyone to heal them, and ranges are staying usually from all different sides, and it's very hard to heal. Holy Paladin, didn't play with any also, but healers said that pretty weak. And from what Elismir was saying, that this is just not enough to be good healer. And about Holy Priest, also didn't play with any, but people saying that this is way worse than other healers at the moment. Okay, just to finish this again, this is my tier list. Meta can change. This is only my opinion, my thoughts, and thoughts of other players who I asked about this tier list. Meta can change, as we can see, as we can saw season 1, Prot Paladin was very bad, but after they buffed it a few times and Prot Paladin went insta on top and finished as a best tank and everyone was playing Prot Paladin. So it can be something the same this season also. Maybe they will nerf Balance Druid and you will swap to Rested Druid and Shadow Priest. Maybe they will buff Prot Warrior and you will completely change meta to physical comp. But for now it's looking like this. There might be more changes after the first week of the raid, but we will see. We will see. That's kind of it for now. Thanks for watching, and you can write your thoughts about this tier list in the YouTube comments. Thank you, and see you soon, guys. Bye bye.